सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति शांति शांतिः शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्त देहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् हरि ओम. We are seeing chapter 7 of Bhagavat Gita. From chapter 7, a whole new topic in Bhagavad Gita starts. The first 6 chapters, we can say that it is a philosophy. And if we take it as a philosophy, and then the middle 6 chapters are the practical application of that philosophy, we can say. How we apply it. And the application of that in Vedanta is also known as Upasana Kand. So Karma Kand, Karma was the main topic in the first 6 chapters. And in the middle 6 chapters, now Bhagavan talks about Upasana. Without Upasana, there is absolutely no growth in life. When we learn about the laudable ideas of our Vedas, and we intellectually appreciate them, and we even praise the Vedas, but if we don't practice them, it really doesn't mean much. So over here, this portion of Bhagavad Gita is where this section talks about the Upasana and the Upasana of application of the high concepts of Vedanta. A very, very simple introduction in my understanding. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible without using a fancy vocabulary or anything like that. So Bhagavan starts out this chapter. We saw first 3 shlokas, but we will revise and we will continue with our study. Bhagavan, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Bhagavan says, Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Yunjan Madashrayah Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yathas Gnasyasi Tachrunu. Bhagavan tells Arjuna, Mai Asaktamanaha, he Parth, O Arjuna, those who have their mind completely devoted to me, Yogam Yunjam Madashrayah, Mad Ashrayah, Yogam Yunjan, And on top of that, the mind which is given to Bhagavan, but at the same time, the actions in life, yogam over here, yunjan mad ashrayaha. Bhagavan is saying that those people who have surrendered their actions to me as well, those people who do actions continuously, remembering me, taking support in me, uh, continuously invoking me, we can say all these things, that those people who offer their minds, then the actions which are done by the five organs of action, even the offering of all action is done with me in mind, mad ashraya, taking refuge in me, taking support in me. Those people, when they do that, asamshayam samagram mam yatha nyasyasi tachunu. Yatha asamshayam samagram. Without without any doubt, these people, uh, without any doubt, know what happens, know how the progress is of such people who have surrendered their mind and all their being to me. So this is the beginning of the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So what corollaries we have to draw from just the first shloka? What is important is overall health of our mind. Mai asakta manaha. Very important statement Bhagavan has made. Usually, our mind has asakti, attachment, in this world of objective reality. We are continuously allowing the objective world to dictate our mental state. But what Bhagavan is saying is, instead of the world dictating our inner stability, Bhagavan is saying those people who have exclusively chosen to invoke Bhagavan, those people, Arjuna, are going to evolve higher and higher. This is a very important statement. The practice is we have to flush our mind out of its attachments. It may be to children, to life, to spouse, to Kamini, Kanchan, Kirti. These three things Vedas talk about. Kamini, all types of desires. Kanchan, wealth. Kirti, fame. All these places, our mind wanders about in these areas. And Bhagavan is saying, those who have worked on themselves to extract the mind's energy out of these spaces and positively offers them to me, Arjuna, those people, Bhagavan says, they grow. Those people attain higher. Asamshayam samagram mam, with absolutely no problem, they will be able to rise into me. Yatha gnasyasi. This you shall come to know, this you should come to know Arjuna. This is very important. So, Maya Sattamanaha, choosing our mind to go to the higher. This is a very big sadhana. The minute we find ourselves in any type of withdrawn state, sadness because of what is happening around us, because of what is happening to the kith and kin, because of whatever it may be, Bhagwan is saying that we must rescue our mind, we must pull our mind out of these conditions if we want to rise higher in life. Then the next one is Yogam Yunjan Madashrayah. We do all actions in life. And we do actions out of sometimes necessity. We do actions because we have to. So Bhagavan says, instead of doing actions because we have to, do actions as an offering. Do actions as an offering to me. Bhagavan is saying that offer your actions to me. Yogam Yunjan Mad Ashraya. These two are very, very, very important. You know, if we have an ability to pull our mind out from worries, number one. And number two, whenever we do an action, we are mentally offering our Lord, or we are doing mantra japa, or we are invoking a story of the devotee of Bhagavan. When the mind is engaged, physically we will be healed. Just the physical response itself is very beautiful. Blood pressure, headaches, aches, pains, all these things, our body starts healing from inside out. And we see in a lot of people who take care of themselves by offering their mind in worship of Bhagavan. Those people who continuously invoke the presence of Bhagavan. We do not see them going through. Pain may be there in family life or the physical and whatnot, but sorrow is not there. Pain may be there, but the deep hurt is not there. This is the greatest upasana. In the first shloka itself, Bhagavan has given us, in the first shloka itself, the thesis statement of the entire middle 6 chapters. How do I offer my mind to Bhagavan? And how do I continue to invoke Bhagavan as and when I'm acting in this world? And when that happens, asamshayam samagram mam yatha jnasasi tachrunu. Now, without any worries, Arjuna, without having any doubts or anything, you listen how one can abide in this. Continuing, shloka number 2. Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshamya sheshatah Yajñātva neha bhūyonyat Gnātavyam avashishyate. So Bhagavan over here is saying that idam jnanam te aham. Bhagavan is saying vakshyami asheshataha. Bhagavan is saying, I am giving you this knowledge to offer this mind and yank and pull and extract this mind out of all the worries and anxieties. I will show you how to do that. And not just that, jnanam, savijnanam. And vijnanam, the very science to dwell in that, the very ability to dwell in that. Maya asakta manaha and yogam yunjam. Offering the mind to Bhagavan and at the same time continuing our dharma in life, our attending to our purpose in life. Bhagavan says, I will give you knowledge and I will give you wisdom. Vijnan, the direct knowledge, the extracted wisdom of the teachings of the Upanishads. I will give you that so that you can assimilate this Vijnan. And what is the reason? Why? What is the purpose behind it? Yad jnatva, and upon knowing this, na iha bhuyaha anyav jnatavyam avashishyate. And upon knowing this, there is nothing else to be known. That means, upon knowing this highest, Bhagavan is saying this wisdom is the highest because nothing else remains. And when he says that nothing else remains to be known, that means the intellect will reach its acme of knowing. So it will not look around here and there to learn more, to acquire more. It will become content. Bhagavan is saying what will be acquired out of this is absolute contentment. There is nothing else to be known. Because we are not content, our buddhi goes looking for more. We are never satisfied with the current version of iPhone. The next one which comes out, we just want it. This is just one gadget. You imagine the world of objective reality. Each object is a gadget. And we want it, we want it, we want it. So Bhagavan says, once you understand the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam and the Vijnanam of how that Paramatma is right here, that wisdom, when you realize, Bhagavan says, Bhuyaha anyat jnatavyam na avashishyate. There is nothing else to be known. Here, you will have nothing else to know. This is what Bhagavan is talking about. Continuing, shloka number 3. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatataamapi siddhanam kaschinmam vetti tattvataha. Bhagavan says that even though I am presenting to you Jnanam and Vijnanam, the plight is not very many people want this. This fantastic knowledge. Not very many have desire for it. Bhagavan says it's peculiar. I'm giving over here something which is going to bring about absolute satisfaction, absolute contentment, and yet people do not want it. And thus he says, Manushyanam sahasreshu. Thousands and thousands of people, kaschit yatati siddhaye. A rare one follows. Since the beginning of time in Bharatvarsh, people have left the comforts of their own home and have gone to Himalayas in search of spirituality, of Bhagavan, of peace of mind, of realization, of knowledge, of wisdom. People have gone. How many succeed of these people who even make such lofty decisions to leave everything and go? Rare. Rarely we find someone who leaves home in search of it. And imagine all of these assemble in a gurukul, in an ashram, and a samarth guru is there. Like our Tapovanji Maharaj. In all his time in Uttarkashi, he felt nobody came over there to him who were fit for this. One rare Chinmaya came. This is what Tapovanji Maharaj says. Because there are too many temptations and we fall for them. The whole first Valli of Nachiketa is tempting this little boy. In Katha Upanishad, Yamaraj tempts this boy so much. But inside, he's decided what he wants. So over here, what Bhagavan is indirectly saying is, our success in spiritual life depends upon how much vairagya we have, how much dispassion we have cultivated in our daily life. It's not like we have to hate our children, we have to hate our spouses, we have to despise our work life and lament our destiny. No, this is not what Bhagavan is saying. He doesn't want us to kick out people in our life. He wants us to develop enough mental strength and mental courage to let go of all of them. That they are fine the way they are. I am only responsible for my own self-growth and self-evolution. And that is it. Bhagavan wants us to live our life with eyes wide open, ears open, listen to the sounds of teaching in all experiences in our life. Observe the futility of objects subjected to time. That is what he wants us to realize. That is why he makes this statement, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Of thousands who live their life, one rare observes the thoughts behind their actions. We just say words. But how often do we analyze, why did I say this? Was it appropriate? Was it necessary? These things prepare us for the invocation of Paramatma in our mind. When a person is burned by certain experiences, next time when it comes about, we should be automatically alert. A little child, when it tries to catch that little lamp lit at an altar, it is just crawling and learning to see the world and objects and everything it wants to grab. And that little diya is lit, and the little child grabs onto the flame and it starts crying, and it sees it is hurt, it is injured. The mom comes running over there. And the next day, when that light is lit in the morning and the child is crawling, the mom shows it and says, don't touch, don't touch. Even when we take the hand of that child and take it over there, oh, because it has learned. That one experience of that diya, it has learned. Our guards should be up whenever we engage in experiences in this world. The minute our guards become up, we observe ourselves and we realize the less we talk, the better it is. The less we talk, the better it is. And such a person becomes a silent observer. And the more we learn to observe, the more we learn about our place in this world and the object's place in the world. And soon we realize the value of time at our hand. And we start growing. Swami Akhandanandji Maharaj, in his commentary of Katho Upanishad, very beautifully he writes, Vidwan wo hai jo, wise is a person who learns from somebody else's mistake. किसी दूसरे इंसान की भूल से वो खुद स्वयं जीवन में एक बोध ले लेता है. That is a wise person. That they themselves don't have to commit an error, commit a mistake. That is a wise person. And that's why we try to teach our children, because we don't want them to make mistakes, which we have made. But they are not Vidwan yet, then what do we do? We just have to let them make mistakes. And when they fall, we shouldn't be standing over there saying, I told you so. We just support them and help facilitate their learning. That is a purpose. That is a parent who is employing proper tools in raising children. What can we do? Once we tell them, but if they don't want to listen, they want to make mistakes, but we should not lose our peace of mind, or our mind should not go into worries. So that is what he writes about Nachiketa. Because all these things that Lord Yama tempts this boy, poor thing, he has not even experienced life. How would he know? But he has observed others. And he has seen those who got those, what did they do? And he realized they also, my own father had all these things, and yet not proper thinking. So in that commentary of Katho Upanishad, he writes about who is a Vidwan Purusha. That is a wise person who learns from somebody else's mistakes. They don't have to commit any mistakes. They don't commit mistakes. And such a person grows. And when such a person grows, that person develops a healthy dose of vairagya. And they know what the next topic of learning in life is. And this is how they sift through all issues in life and they rise. Sometimes in teenage years, sometimes in 20s, sometimes in 30s, they're done. And they'll take on to spirituality like, duck to water, a duckling hatching close to a pond, and then it just sees the pond and it knows instinctively what to do. We are all built for spirituality. We are meant to swim in the ocean of Vedas. But temporarily, our attention is hijacked by other things. And that's why Bhagavan says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Few, kaschid, one rare person succeeds. And yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvataha. And of all those who make proper choices and have actually come to learn Shastra and have learned, rare among that comes to know me. Because others get caught up in the intellectual gymnastics and they forget to practice. Yogam yunjan madashrayaha. Karma has to be done. Life has to be lived. Seeking the support of Bhagavan at every step of the way. But when we get caught up in the nuances of philosophy and we remain at the level of philosophy, knowing all aspects of it, then nothing happens. Then there is no growth. There's stagnancy. That's why when we see even Shankaracharya ji, they do puja, they do meditation, they engage in kumbhabhishekams of temples, they go on Digvijay Yatra propagating, they teach. It is to show that there is even a dharma for sannyas, that it doesn't mean that everything is given up and there is this notion that one day I'll give up everything. There's no such thing as giving up of everything. Everything has a dharma. Whether we like it or not, we have to surrender to that dharma. That duty we have to with proper attitude. That is what Bhagavan is saying, that people do not succeed because the priorities shift and change. But if we remember our purpose, if we remember our duty, then we will unfold properly. Life is very precious. Whatever time we have to take that time to take it towards Paramatma. Now is the integral teaching of chapter 7 from shloka number 4 to shloka number 12. And in shloka number 2, Bhagavan says, I will give you jnanam and I will give you vijnanam. Over here, Bhagavan presents first jnanam. Then Bhagavan presents vijnanam. So let us see what is jnanam. Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu khammano buddhirevacha ahankaraiti yamme bhinna prakrutirashtadha. Bhagavan presents Prakriti first. And the reason why Bhagavan presents Prakriti is because we live in Prakriti. We are fascinated by Prakriti. Our worries, anxieties, pain and sorrow, it is all part of Prakriti. It is all part of creation. We are subjected to this Prakriti. So Bhagavan says, Bhumi apaha analaha vayukham manaha buddhi ahankar iti me ashtadha prakriti. Bhagavan says, creation is in eightfold. And the eightfold creation is space, air, fire, water, earth. Bhagavan says, manaha, mind, buddhi, and ahankar. These are the eightfold. But Bhagavan went from the gross to subtle. First, he said, Bhumi, earth, the grossest, most tangible object is earth. We can touch it, we can feel it, we can smell it, we can see it, and when we take a lump and drop it, we can even hear it. All five qualities of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha is present in earth. So Bhagavan says, Bhumi, then Apaha, water. Water we can taste. Water we can see. Water we can feel. When the river is flowing, we can hear. So four qualities are there in water. I'm able to hear it, I'm able to feel it, I'm able to see it, and I'm able to taste it. But water, I'm not capable of smelling it. Smell, the fifth sense, belongs to earth. Water has no smell. People say, oh no, when I go to swimming pool, I smell water. We smell chlorine, not water. Then Bhagavan says, Bhumi apaha analaha. Analaha, fire. Fire we can hear. Fire, when we go closer to it, the touch, we feel hot, heat. And the flames we can see. So we can hear it, we can feel it, and we can see it. There's no taste of fire. And there's no smell of fire. If we smell something burning, the smell is of the object. Like, for example, when wood burns, it has a unique smell. And when a rubber tire burns, it has a foul smell. And in the temple, when homam is done, it has a very unique smell because the dravya is ghee over there with wood. But that is not the smell of the fire. It's the ingredients. So three things with fire. Then vayu. The wind, when it blows, we can hear it. And we can feel it, the cold air, the warm air. In winter, the cold air. In summer, the hot air. So only two qualities. We can hear it and we can feel it. And come space, we can hear in the medium of space. That's it. So we are going from grossermost to subtlemost. Now, subtler than space is mind. Because mind is even capable of objectifying the space element. So mind is subtler. And subtler than mind is buddhi, intellect. The mind is subtler than space because when we go to certain places, that space we fall in love with. Someone very fondly remembers their hometown in India. Someone very fondly remembers their vacation spot in Hawaii or Bahamas or wherever they go and they like to enjoy. And there is an emotion attached to it. And that emotion is in mind, subtler. It objectifies even the space and says, the space in Hawaii, I enjoy. The space in South America, Patagonia, it's beautiful, I enjoy. Whatever it may be. Now, buddhi can even objectify the emotions. So buddhi is even subtler. So grosser from earth to the space, subtler than that mind, subtler than mind, intellect, which knows even the emotions. But subtler than the buddhi is ahankar, because the ego owns up everything. Ego says, my buddhi. And my buddhi, I'm smarter than you. That ahankar even objectified the buddhi and put an ownership to it, and that is a subtlemost. And thus Bhagavan over here is very beautifully presenting the Ashtadha Prakriti, the eightfold. Bhagavan says, Arjuna, you realize of these, the 5 elements, mind and intellect, all this is part of creation. But you know, this one which is so unique to all of us who are part of this creation, that itself creates a lot of havoc, and that is ahankar. But you even come to realize that this ahankar, even that is part of the created world. Learn to see the myriad forms of ego. And we all see that in our own families, in our own communities, in our own organizations. We know exactly how the other person is going to behave. What do? They are a victim of Prakriti. Bhagavan says knowledge is understanding what is Prakriti and what is Purusha. So I've enumerated, Bhagavan says, Prakriti. Continuing, Bhagavan says in 5th shloka, apareyamitastvanyam Prakritim Viddhi me param Jiva bhutam mahabaho Yayedam dharyate jagat. Bhagavan says, Arjuna, Iyam, what is just mentioned in the previous shloka, shloka 4, Bhagavan says, Iyam apara, these 8-fold divisions of Prakriti. Bhagavan says this is a lower form of Prakriti. Apara iyam itaha. Tu anyam prakrutim vidhi me param. But you come to know my higher Prakriti. And Bhagavan says, Jiva bhutam mahabaho ya idam dharyate jagat. Bhagavan says, yaya idam dharyate jagat. Bhagavan says, Jiva bhuta mahaba. In this 8-fold Prakriti, they all have something very unique. They don't have independent existence. They have dependent existence. And they depend upon me. Yaya, by which dharyate is upheld this jagat, this entire world of 8-fold Prakriti. This Prakriti is upheld by my higher form. You come to know this higher form. So Bhagavan introduced lower Prakriti, and Bhagavan has now introduced my higher Prakriti. And what is the higher Prakriti? Jiva Bhutam Mahabahu. It is Jiva Bhutam. It is the life principle. The 5 elements are there. And the 5-element created elemental world has produced beings. But the beings are alive. The elemental world is alive. Each element is alive. And born out of the alive Prakriti, the jivas are alive. And when the jiva leaves, even the disintegration, that process which goes on, somebody is disintegrating. Somehow the breakdown of flesh is there. And in no time, something else is rejuvenated out of the dead matter. So the life-giving principle upholds the whole Prakriti. And that is my higher nature. Me param viddhi. You come to know this as the higher. Now, we will continue this discussion next week, but I will summarize what is lower Prakriti, what is higher Prakriti. What is Prakriti? and what is Purusha. And when it is said Yaya Dharyate Jagat, this Jagat is there. What is Jagat? So we will see Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. And if we will see the support of Jeev, Jagat, and Ishvara as absolute. What Bhagavan is referring to over here as Param, the highest, which upholds, is talking about that absolute which upholds the Jiva, the Jagat, this world, and the Niyanta, the ruler of this world. I will create a chart and present that for our easy understanding, because Jnanam is provided now. Bhagavan will switch the topic to Vijnana. Vijnanam is what Bhagavan started out this chapter by saying that Mai asakta manaha. How can we offer our mind to Bhagavan? And yogam yunjan madashraya, and engage in karma without any anxiety. How do I process this? This is Vijnana. Once we understand the semantics of Jnanam, then the job starts of Vijnana. How do I apply it? How do I apply it? How do I apply it? Thus, the middle section of Bhagavad Gita is known as Upasana. Practice, practice, practice. Day in, day out, day in, day out, we have to bring about transformation of our mind and intellect. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.